Hey y'all, welcome back to Life Study Library. This is your host, Lye Yosh. We're going to continue with topics regarding romance and relationship building, but I've already made a few consecutive videos about it, so this will probably be the last one in this streak. I might make more in the future. Or the Lye Yosh in a different dimension might make videos only about romance and relationships. So if you're only interested in that topic, I suggest you head to that dimension. I'm fine with it because this channel itself is linked between dimensions. So no matter which dimension you watch, the channel in this dimension will grow. But enough with that. So since we've already talked throughout multiple videos about kind of negative things about relationship, like who to not become a couple and stuff like that. So this video will be talking about stuff that is somewhat positive. In this video, we'll be talking about personalities of couples, types of couples that will last long. Likewise, in this channel, I'll be talking about these interesting scientific and psychological information that can greatly change your life for the better. And I've already talked about a lot of things regarding the topic of romance and relationship. Some of these are videos like how to detect if that person you're dating, whether a man or a woman, is a toxic partner or not. Or I have videos like how to move on from past relationship and get over your ex effectively using science and psychology. Or I have stuff like how much does men's certain body area affect his success in romance? Yeah, are you interested in that? Yeah, so I have all of the link to those videos in my description, so if you're interested in any of them, and of course with topics that are not about romance, come subscribe to my channel so that you can use my channel as a library of knowledge that can improve your lives. And now, back to the program. So in this particular video, we're going to be talking about couples that will last long. What kind of couples do you think will last long without breaking up and most likely marry each other and end up in the same grave? Well, there are a number of factors that relate to this, and a lot of these factors you might already be familiar with. Factors like whether or not you're feeling comfortable with your partner that's a big one. Physical attraction is also very important. Like, you don't have to look attractive to everyone. You just need your partner to think that you're hot. That's all. But surprisingly, there hasn't been much research done with the topic of how these different indicators of a healthy couple, how these different indicators relate to one another. How do they interact with each other to make the result that yeah, Joshua and Harriet over there, we just know that they'll end up together and it's gonna be so cute. So to figure this out, universities like UCLA and New York State University have conducted an experiment where they collected 58 heterosexual dating couples who were in a committed long-term relationship. And they looked at their communication styles, how they communicated in specific situations in their dating lives. Particularly, the research team focused on situations when something negative was happening. For example, when these couples were in an argument with each other. The research team studied how these couples communicated in these stressful situations, if whether they get into a heated emotional war or calm and collected discussion. And they also looked at their individual personalities in order to figure out if the research team was able to predict how satisfied these couples were with their relationship. And if so, what kind of personalities did these couples need to have as a combo in order to stand strong as romantic partners? And by the way, these couples were all in a committed relationship, but none were married. And the reason why these unmarried couples were chosen was because being married to someone makes you kind of tied to them by law. Like, if you're just dating, you can break up and get out of there way easier than if you're married to someone. Anyway, these samples were surveyed on how much they were satisfied with their relationship. So things like their personal values or their philosophy, if these were shared with their partners. And other stuff like how much time do they usually spend together. And things like what they value as a romantic tag team player. How often do they argue with each other, along with their basic level of satisfaction with their partner. Oh wait, I already said that. So how satisfied they were with each other overall, when we're also surveyed on their Big Five personality. For those of you who don't know this is a really major and fundamental method to figure out people's personalities. And these consist of 5 things. Extroversion, how much outgoing you are, or how much you're enclosed. Agreeableness, so how well can you cooperate as a team? How well can you agree with people? Conscientiousness, or how diligent you are and open towards new experience. And lastly, neuroticism. How stable is your mentality? This survey was taken by the samples 2 times with about 4 months in between. And the research team tried to figure out if there was any common trait or similarities among couples that made them a healthy and stable relationship. The results showed that, at least with their conflict resolution skills, so how well they were able to resolve any conflicts with each other, at least with this skill, there wasn't anything substantial that linked conflict resolution skills and the overall romantic satisfaction. So this means that there wasn't any solid evidence that proved couples would be happier with each other if they were able to solve issues well. This is generally thought to be because this ability of how these samples resolved romantic conflicts varied too much on an individual scale. There are just so many ways you can resolve romantic issues, like you can of course talk about it, or you can ignore it and pretend it's not there, or you might be able to tell your partner that, hey, you're not doing the dishes again, by giving them non-verbal signs so that you don't have to verbally yell at them and make them mad or make them get the wrong intention and cause unneeded fuss. The issue with this study was that it tried to figure out the overall couple compatibility solely by looking at how well they can resolve conflicts. And just in case there's no misunderstanding, conflict in this case, I'm talking about couples having a conflict with each other. Any conflicts that involve a third party, like a cheating partner, or any other events unrelated to the couple, like an unfortunate accident or something, were omitted because most of these are merely luck, right? So the study told the result that you can't figure out long-term couple compatibility solely by how well they can solve conflicts. So the research team looked at the other pathway, the couple's personality compatibility. What if certain personality matches well together and they can solve issues effectively, while other matches are not able to do this as well? When they looked here, they were able to find a satisfactory answer. According to the study, out of the big 5 personality traits, the ones that produced the most effective couple compatibility, the personality that made a healthy couple was people who had a low level of neuroticism and a low conscientious level. Let's talk about the first one first. Having a low neuroticism makes a good couple. This one totally makes sense, right? The definition of neuroticism is, in this case, basically your mental instability. Anyone with a high level of this will more often be mentally unstable. People with this personality trait will often cause temper tantrums. Those bosses at your company who gets angry frequently for no reason and blame everything on you. Or it could be your next door neighbor who gets furious because they felt like you were being too loud and spends an hour ringing your doorbell, causing more disturbance to more people. Those kind of people. And most people, of course, do not want to hang out with these kind of people, much less make a romantic relationship with them. People normally would want to date a person with a low level of neuroticism, those who are mentally stable, and that's what the study proved, so this makes total sense. What doesn't make sense is that the study also claims that people with a high conscientious level also do not make up a healthy couple. Reading the study, I was very puzzled by this, and you probably do too, right? Conscientious people, by definition, are those who persevere through tough times. And considering a relationship, that's a very desirable trait to have. So many other studies claim that people with a high level of conscientiousness will often succeed in life and are desirable as a romantic partner. So why is this bad? Why is this damaging in terms of long-term romantic relationship? The study answered this question by pointing out the negative side of conscientiousness. So in terms of building a romantic relationship, people who are overly conscientious are in danger of becoming too fussy and nitpicky. So if your partner is a conscientious person, they might say stuff like, hey, I love you and I want to be with you for as long and often as possible, but we also have our work or school or whatever stuff that's also very important. So we should spend some time in our days separately to study or do work and not get distracted by each other. And then you probably say, okay, that's a good point. Let's try to do our own work separately from 2 to 5 p.m. and then we can go out and eat dinner or something. You might say something like this. And then your conscientious partner, they'll definitely give a lot of their effort in order to commit to this promise. At this point, they're being a really good partner to you and it's all good. But at some point, they're in danger of becoming too attached to this commitment. And in situations when you finished your work early, so you called your partner, but they say, hey, you're not supposed to call me yet. It's not 5 p.m. So you wait patiently, assuming that your partner still hasn't finished his work. And you're slightly disappointed, but you're understanding. And then when you two finally meet up and you ask, you must have had a lot of work today. But then your partner says, oh no, I actually finished my work really early. I just thought we really should commit to our promise of not seeing each other until 5 p.m. If you haven't caught on already, it should feel a little strange to you, right? Like, the point of you two not seeing each other was so that you guys could focus on your work. So if you two both know that you're already done, then you two should have hung out already. This is what I mean when your partner who is overly conscientious can create issues. They can't adapt well to different situations and will stick to the rules even if it becomes a problem. Another finding about the Big Five is that having a lot of agreeableness. While it seems like a very healthy trait that people seek in their partners, it actually didn't create positive nor negative results. Or more precisely, it either didn't matter at best or caused negativity at worst. And the reason why is because within the issue of problem solving among couples, when you have a lot of agreeableness, when you agree so much with your partner, you start to sound like a yes man or a yes woman who never displays your preference or opinion. On paper, couples that don't have any disagreements might seem ideal, but oh yes, humans are the representation of irrationality, so while we think peace and romance is desirable, we actually want things to heat up a bit. Of course, too much of this will cause a problem, but having 0% of disagreement is very boring if you think about it. And you know exactly what happens when you're bored with your relationship. And that was basically everything that the study had to tell us in terms of this topic. What kind of couples last, and what kind of couples break up. And of course, if you spot any of these signs that I explained in this video, signs of romance that's about to bust your relationship, you can pluck these seeds of issues before it grows into a full-on problem. Also, the study is of course not a perfect one, as it missed a number of categories of couples, like senior-aged couples or same-sex couples. The study didn't examine this trait on these couples. Do they also apply to this study? Also, some people may figure out that, hey Yosh, this study only talks about the personalities in the realm of the Big Five, but there are other personalities like self-contentedness or perfectionism. How do they relate to the topic of long-lasting relationship? And yeah, these are good questions that this study didn't really get into. So we're just gonna have to wait till psychologists do more on it, and I find more of these studies and talk about it in this channel. But until then, you can do a number of things for yourself, like read some of the books I recommended today regarding the topic of love and romance, and pretty much anything related to romantic partnership. Go check it out. It's all in my description. And then you should also check my other videos in this channel, specifically talking about other aspects of love and romance. I've been kind of continuously talking about this topic in many of my recent videos, so if you're looking for a healthy romantic partner, or you want to know how to scientifically become more attractive, you can find the answers to your questions by checking out my recommended video for the day, which are also in my description, so yeah, go check it out. And that's pretty much it from me. Thank you for watching, and last but not least, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Life Study Library so that you can learn more about these interesting and life-changing science and psychology. Thank you so much for doing that. Your support is greatly appreciated, and I'll see you in my other videos. Peace out.